congratulate Honorable Clement Apaak, who deliberately omitted from his CV that he led the very powerful outfit in Commonwealth Hall as a Deputy Chief Vandal to Mr. Egbert Fable, Jr. Congratulations, Chief.
I'm grateful, Mr. Chair.
Life in Commonwealth Hall, I believe, still reflects in your actions, and it's embedded in your DNA that truth will always stand. Anyway, Chief, let's deal with this issue of indiscipline and the use of drugs in schools. It's something that you need to assist your minister in fashioning a way with parents to deal with. We all gloss over it, but we see it from the primary school level through to the JHS, secondary school, universities. It's an issue. They call something weed, toffee, tramol, cakes, and what have you, biscuits. It's something that I believe going to assist Honorable Haruna Idrisu and the entire educational sector must look into. So I want you to tell parents and the country what you believe can be done to assist in solving this very dangerous issue that pertains in our tertiary institutions. Thank you.
Grateful, Mr. Chairman. And I acknowledge the terrible omission of a position I occupied in the Great Commonwealth, of which I continue to be proud of. So for the vandals, do accept my sincerest apology. I will do the needful within the context of the vandal tradition.
You can't sing here.
Mr. Chairman, the honorable member has raised a very profound issue that has the potential of destroying the investments that we have made as a nation and as parents. Because we are speaking about the future of this nation. And I believe the minister, knowing him from our days in Commonwealth and here in Parliament, is not oblivious to this challenge as well. It is going to take a concerted effort. Parents, educators, and the institutions to address this issue. But we ought to also instill values in our children. It is not just sufficient to nurture them and to support them, but they must have values. And that is why I believe that as a nation, we must make values an important component of our education. I'm grateful.
Chairman, I don't have a follow-up on that, and we'll be watching the space for the interventions you've been introducing. If there's one thing that we as policymakers or politicians must be ashamed of ourselves, and as a country, is to always read about schools under trees. Just about a week ago, the education minister stated that we still have about 5,000 schools under trees. And, Chief, to read such stories is disheartening. especially after 68 years of independence and the kind of resources that have gone with both NDC, MPP, whatever, PNDC. We don't have any excuse. So if there is one thing that you have to do with Honorable Idrisu within the next 4 years, to at least have the number, Ghanaians will be very happy about that. Do you have an idea of the budget coming to Parliament in 2 weeks and the kind of arrangements being made towards the resolution of this? Thank you.
Most grateful, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I have no idea about the budget that is to come to Parliament, but I believe very strongly that I would be briefed in due course. But I must agree with the honorable member with regards to the spectacle of schools and the trees. It does not befit the status and age of our nation. But by and large, it's a product of our inability as a nation to keep pace with the provision of educational infrastructure. So as the population is growing, and of course, we continue producing offsprings, but we are not providing the educational infrastructure to match the growing population. So when communities begin to increase in population and they have children sufficient enough to start a school, they initiate by beginning their own schools. And invariably, most of those schools would be under trees. So it is a national issue, and I believe on this we should be united in finding the resources, even in these challenging times, to address it, because education is a right. I'm grateful.
Thank you. I'm told you just had instituted a fiscal planning unit at the ministry to be tracking some of these things. Let's deal with the issue of capacity building amongst teachers and other educational staff. I think it's an area that you also must look into, because education is evolving and you just cannot keep teachers stuck in their old ways. So how are you going to assist your minister in delivering on this very important area? Chairman, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Honorable nominee, please answer the question, if there is one.
I'm grateful. The teacher is perhaps the most important variable when it comes to education. All of us gathered here are who we are because of a teacher. And since we are living in a world that is evolving, and there are new ways of doing things, it is only proper that we give teachers the opportunity and support to be able to upgrade themselves and their skill sets to enable them give their best. So I am ready and prepared to support my minister as he executes the mandate given him by His Excellency the President. And I know that includes teacher welfare and professional development. I'm grateful.
Chairman, thank you, but I'm informed there is a National Education Leadership Institute that has been, NELI, that has been set up that you can rely on for that program, which is being funded by the Big Win Foundation. And I believe with Haruna, MP, you have a good minister to work with. And I wish you the very best, Chief.
I'm grateful, and you are right. It's actually in my briefing notes. I believe you build on it for the betterment of Ghana.